What is next for Merab Dvalishvili and Alexandre Pantoja after their surprising title losses? Let's look into it. So I think most people did not see it coming that Merab and Pantoja both lose their belts yesterday night, because they have been two of the most dominant champions, if not the two most dominant champions in the UFC right now, in the UFC in recent years as well, and they both lost their belt. Now, of course, Pantoja lost it in a fluke way, you could say, because Van did not really do anything to cause the injury. Of course, you can say, yeah, he did do the trip and all of that, but if Pantoja lands wrong on his arm, that has nothing to do with Joshua Van. Like, it's not like Van had any technique involved in there that helped him getting that victory, you know what I mean? But of course, you cannot take nothing away from Joshua Van. It's not his fault that Pantoja gets injured. But it is a loss that it's not like, oh, he has to work his way back to a title. He's immediately back in there once he's healthy again. Now, the weird thing is, Dana White said that it's not a broken arm, it's a dislocated shoulder, which makes no sense to me. If you watch the video, if you have a bad stomach, do not watch it. But if you watch the video of the arm, this is a clear break of the arm. I'm not a doctor, but like, how is that the shoulder that is dislocated if his whole underarm separates from his upper arm? Like, how is that the shoulder that is dislocated? I've seen dislocated shoulders. That's not what it looks like. But write in the comments if you know more about that. But even if it will be a dislocated shoulder, according to Google, you need 12 to 16 weeks for a full healing. And then, of course, you have to do the whole rehab process, because it's not just a full healing of a normal person. It's a full healing of a pro athlete that uses his shoulder in all of his training in a heavy usage way, right? So it needs to be more than just normal healing. It needs to get back into the movements, rehabilitation and all of that. So it will take probably half a year until he's ready to get back in there. And Joshua Van, as far as I know him, he wants to get back in there quick because he is young. He took no damage. And talking about young and no damage, there's another guy that is young and took no damage on Saturday night and did get an impressive victory, and his name is Taira. Now, he will be ranked number 1 or number 2 probably on Tuesday. Pantoja will probably be 1. And Dana White said, hey, they are right now looking at venues in Japan. They want to do, he did not say it word for word, but what you hear from him is they want to do Taira versus Joshua Van in Japan, which will be phenomenal, obviously. And I would love to go there. I'm waiting for this since forever that they go to Japan. And I do think this could happen. Now, the question is, can they make it happen in the first half of this year? Because booking a venue and all of that is not that easy. You have to book it way in advance, plan and all of that. But I will not be surprised if the UFC could pull it off for, I don't know, maybe May, something like that. Maybe in May, a pay-per-view in May in Japan. It doesn't even be a pay-per-view anymore, a numbered event or just a big event. Now they're much more free with the events since they don't have to do pay-per-views anymore. I mean, am I crazy for suggesting that this could happen in the first half of the year? The UFC, in my opinion, has the powers. In Japan does not seem like a place that is booked for years in advance like Las Vegas or something like that. So this is a possibility, in my opinion. The UFC really wants it. So I would suggest make Taira versus Joshua Van for the belt first half of the year. Maybe April, May, June, something like that, right? And then by the time they fought, Pantoja is fully recovered and can get back in there, obviously immediately a title shot again. And then you have Pantoja against the winner of Van against Taira in, let's say, October maybe. Second half of the year, he has enough time to recover, whether it's a broken arm, whether it's a dislocated shoulder, he has enough time to recover, regroup, get back in shape, and get back in there and reclaim what is still his, the flyweight title. Then Merab lost a fight that I did not see coming at all. Huge respect to Petr Yan. It was a phenomenal performance. No excuses possible for anyone. This has been an absolute crazy performance of Petr Yan. He showed a complete arsenal of mixed martial arts. He looked phenomenal in there in every realm, especially defensively. His striking defense and his takedown defense was neat. And he beat Merab fair and square over 5 rounds. I actually scored a 50-45 for Petr. The official scores were 49-46, but times 2, I think, and one was 48-47, which was kind of weird. But phenomenal performance. Now, Merab does deserve an immediate rematch because he already beat Petr the first time. They're 1-1 now. Merab beat him dominantly the first time. Merab had his moments as well in this fight. And Merab defended the belt, or attempted to defend the belt 4 times this year, which makes you automatically deserving those rematches, unless of course you get knocked out like crazy or something like that, because that's how the UFC works, right? If you get into their good grace, you will get those opportunities. Now, what I suggest though is that the UFC, that Merab takes time off. I know he's 34, I know he doesn't have the most time left, but he should take time off in my opinion. I don't want to make excuses for Merab, but I am very, very certain, I would bet all the money, that fighting 4 times in 1 year, making weight 4 times in 1 year, don't forget he makes weight the old school way, where he literally just doesn't eat and doesn't drink anymore for like 3 days, which is horrible for your body. I do believe that his body needs rest. His body is just worn out by the end of this year, and give him rest. Let him, even though he probably doesn't want it, he needs to be forced to it. Let him reset his body, take a vacation, whatever, regroup, and get back in there second half of 2026 as well, just like Pantoja. And in the meantime, what I want to see is Petr Yan, of course, has a belt. If you look at the division, there's 2 guys that are fighting in January. Umar fights in January against Davison Figueiredo, and Sean O'Malley fights in January against Song Yadong. Now you see a pattern there. They're both ranked right above each other. They're both number 1, number 2 contender. They're both fighting opponents close to each other as well. So whoever of them, of course, if we say that both win, if only one wins, the winner gets it. If both win, the one that gets the more impressive win, because it's not like Song Yadong is not an easier fight than Davison. Well, where's he? Yeah, here. It's not an easier fight or anything like that. Whoever of them gets the more impressive, or has the more impressive performance in January, gets the shot at Petr Yan, let's say as well, April, May, somewhere around there, first half, maybe even White House card. That would be fun. Russia, especially Russia against USA on the White House card, that would be fun. Should get the shot. Because you can say, yeah, but Umar has been on a much better streak. Sean O'Malley is on a 2-fight losing streak. Yeah, okay. He only lost to Merab twice. He didn't lose to anyone else. And Sean O'Malley has history with Petr Yan and beat him already, even though a lot of you guys don't like it because you think that he got dropped. Even a reason more to make the fight, right? If he believes he has been robbed, he can sell the score, right? And Sean O'Malley just sells tickets. Umar as well, true. If Umar wins impressively and Sean O'Malley does not win impressively or even lose, of course, Umar gets the title shot. Umar against Petr Yan is a phenomenal fight that I would love to see. I would love to see it. As a Sean O'Malley fan, of course, I hope he gets the title shot. I would love to see Sean O'Malley back as a champion. I do think he has the tools to beat Petr Yan, even though Petr Yan is probably one of the most complete martial artists on the planet right now, and very hard to beat. If Petr Yan shows up like he showed up on Saturday, he's nearly impossible to beat. But I do think it's a no-brainer that the winner, the more impressive winner from those 2 guys in January, in a month, gets the shot at Petr Yan late first half of 2026. And then Merab, in my opinion, same as Pantoja, has done enough to deserve to just get the winner of those fights. To not having to have another contender fight. I don't know, who else should he beat? Like, he already beat everyone. He should be right next again for the belt whenever he's ready to return. I do believe he deserves that. He beat everyone. If there would be a number 1 contender that he has not fought yet, okay, but there's no one there. You should get an immediate title shot again, and having a chance to prove that his body was worn out and that he can do better. But absolutely crazy performance of Petr Yan. If you look at the stats, it's insane. Who would have thought that Petr Yan gets 5 out of 9 takedowns and Merab gets 2 out of 29? This is nuts. Crazy stats by Petr. Amazing last pay-per-view of ever. Last pay-per-view that ever exists, at least from what is the plan now. Taira, of course, great win. Joshua won, a little bit of a fluke win, but who cares? Peyton Talbot, good win against Henry Cejudo. Jan Blachowicz won that fight, in my opinion, against Bogdan Guskov, but it is what it is. Jan, I would like to see Jan fight, actually, I would like to see Jan fight, where is he? Jamal Hill, because Jamal Hill is injured right now, yes, but he will come back somewhere in 2026, and Jan Blachowicz said himself that he needs a lot more time between fights now at this stage. And if he does not decide to retire and wants to continue to fight, I do think Jamal Hill is a great matchup and a fun fight that I would love to see in 2026. So those are my ideas for the next fight. What is next for the two new champs and for the two guys who just lost their belt? Write your opinion in the comments, you guys. What do you think? What should be next? Write in the comments. Like this video, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Would appreciate that. Check out the merch, bloodsport.net. As you see down here, links in the bio. Check it out, you guys. Stay bloody. Until the next one. Bye-bye. Bloodsport out.